All right, welcome back, everybody. As we get into the semi-pro action, we got Padres versus Preferred Mob here at the 2022 NXL World Cup on the Premier Field. Ooh, Padres takes a heater straight to the head. So great job. Great off-the-break shooting by P-Mob. But P-Mob gets a penalty, though, on the other side, so a minor penalty thrown on them. That is a tough one. So right now it is 4 on 3. With Padres having the body advantage, even though they did take a loss there at the start. So, if you're just now tuning in, I'm Vince, and let's talk paintball here with this free and live stream all weekend long on the NXL Facebook and YouTube page. So, as far as action, what we have going on right now in front of you, this set is going to be Padres versus Preferred Mob, Austin Notorious versus Chicago Distortion. So on your screen right now, you can see P-Mob in the black and half-white jerseys with their traditional green logo. And then you can see Padres there in their reddish-brown jerseys they have, which are awesome. They say Daddy's Home on the back. You see Wozniak there. Looking at number 12, looking to shoot across. He's trying to feel out right now where these players are at. From 57 right next to him. Looks like Derulo doing a little bit of surgery there in the center. Reloads. Looks like he's good to go now. So Derulo, number 8, talking to his back players, trying to figure out where these Padres players are on the Dorito side. Little bit of confusion here as they think there's a player up further than what he is, and he's not. I think they eliminated that player, and they haven't called it yet. So you can see here, guest number 5, trying to figure out. He's hunting a little bit, trying to look through, trying to figure out where those bodies are. Now these two players right here for Padres have not moved. Kurtzler over there, number 57. They're trying to work together. We're going to see slower points here on Saturday as a lot of these matches have some serious implications for Sunday. In the bracket with the Padres, they are 1-1. Or excuse me, they are 2-1. Or excuse me, 0-2. Wow, I just can't get this right today. 1-2. There we go. My brain worked. They're 1-2. They need this win right now, and they need to win big to try to have any hopes of moving on. So we're going to see at this point, as we're moving into past the 12-minute mark here, Derulo doesn't know there's another player on this other side of him. If the Padres player goes outside, oh, wow, and he gets the player and stays alive. What a great job. And they're going to run into bunker to the last player, give him a little extra. Great job. So Wozniak there, able to move through and get that kill. So great job by him getting a 2-pack. So Droog's player coming over. If you missed that match, go back and watch it. That was an amazing comeback victory over Crisis. Crisis just throwing that point away. So great job by Droogs to take the win and potentially play the spoiler there. So also in this set, we have the overall 3rd and 4th place teams here on the screen. Notorious in 3rd, Distortion in 4th. They're still in the running for that pro spot. If Blastcamp and PB Fit do not have a good tournament, so if Blastcamp doesn't make it on and PB Fit does not do well, Chicago Distortion wins the event or Notorious wins the event, they still have a chance to barely squeak in the win and take the pro title. So we'll see. As we great shot here, like we talked about, Dan Sensi there up in the middle. He was able to come in and commentate with me earlier. Mr. 13 pods on his back. He's literally just cutting off that angle for the snake. So you're going to see a lot of him right there. That battle, that wedge-to-wedge battle, is going to be the key battle. Whoever dies out of that spot first is going to give it up. So here on the wide shot, you can see everyone's stacked up. Very similar field right now for both sides and where they're positioned. So heads up right now between White Smoke, Marky Franz, and Dan Sensi. No one wants to lose that battle, because the person who loses that battle, that becomes a key spot because it frees up this entire side of moving out. Now, also back behind them, the juice boxes as well as tall stand-up rectangles. Got to be careful right now. Oh no, hard dive there from the Notorious player, getting shot in the face on the way in, and eats a little grass as well. So Marky Franz switches sides there, now trying to move through and see if he can make that move up to the center. He's trying to catch Henry Sense, if he's going to move or not. But Dan Sense. I keep saying Henry Sense. Dan Sense, old Sensi here. But he doesn't have the inside shot on the Doritos. The Notorious player goes through. Franz looking like he wants to make the move. He wraps, gets the shot on the tower, and then backs up. So now Dan Sensi is going to move to look over top of the inside. Oh, but unfortunately did not see Sherman over in the 50-yard line brick as Sensi stands up and gets pieced. Now, good move back to the back center now that they're calling their kills out. Oh, yes, Notorious is capitalizing on the situation. Distortion players walking off together. So I believe it's now a 1-on-2. 1-on-3 as Sherman's going to give Kohler a couple extra in the head. So great towel by Chicago Distortion to save time on that. Now P-Mob here in the so color jerseys wise, P-Mob white, black, green stripes here. Great jerseys. Love the old school look. Padres here in the maroonish brown tan jerseys.
30 seconds.
So 20 seconds here on the clock to go. Big shout out to our sponsors here: ProShar, Planet Eclipse, GI Sports, HK Army, LoneWolfPaintball.com, Dye Paintball, Sup Air, DLX Lux. All these vendors have new products out here in Kissimmee at the NXL World Cup. So come on out if you can. We have a great VIP area here on the premier field as Chasman moves, number 93, moves out to the snake corner, but he is going to get a check on the ref. Going to call him clean. So great job here moving out and holding these guns down. 5 bodies left alive, both teams. Padres a little better field position here as they are in the 40-yard line wedge. As John Derula is going to creep up into the wedge to mirror him up. Mirror the Padres player up in the snake side wedge. So John Derula, known to break games open. Really one of the key players in their roster right now, communicating back to Isaac Luke, former Rebel player. So if you don't know, semi-pro, super exciting. A lot of former pros down in semi-pro. So you can see, just like the pro field, you can see a ton of former pros playing on this field. So right now, Chasman feeling everything out, trying to scout and see where everybody's at, talking to Luke. Luke relaying the information all the way across the field. So these two teams both need a win right now in order to have a fighting chance. With the Padres situation, they are 2-1, or 1-2, 1-2, and P-Mob is 2-1. So Padres, P-Mob, lots of P names I'm trying to say here. So now there goes that move inside out. Derula into the 50-yard line. Oh, he is going to lose a player behind him, though, in the Doritos, so got to be careful. So look for Derula to try to thread the needle here. He doesn't realize the player moved down Doritos side. Unfortunately, gets pieced up. Oh, what? So that's where communication breaks down, where if Derula would have known that Doritos side player moved up, he would have got him. But at the same time, playing off the chaos, P-Mob was able to shoot out 2 players on the Padres side of the field. But Padres Padres are able to get both Schloss and looks like Luke as well. So just one player left alive as Padres are able to get into the snake. Sun coming out. You can see the brightness there. Oh, wow. What a save. Padres were able to shoot number 93 out. 93 was getting ready to absolutely demolish Wozniak. This is Woz. So if you're a semi-pro team or a WNXL team out there, do me a favor for the 2023 season. Give me a list of names with phonetic spellings on them. So phonetic, if you don't know what that means how I can pronounce your actual name. So not everyone has as easy names as the heroines. You know, they have Glass, they have Titus, they have Laser. You know, some of these names out here are a little hard to pronounce. So try to give as much shout out as I possibly can to the number. But if you're in the case of FSU, you don't have numbers. So that makes it even harder. So here on the breakout, doubling up that can at first, little inside out route. Dan Sensi's pod pack just about falling off him because he has so many pods. Looks like he's shot in the front of his hopper, getting the check. Gonna be called clean, so good job. Not getting a penalty there, though, by Sensi. So on your screen right now, you can see Bateman rolling his gun through. Rodriguez, I believe, behind him. So Bateman, former X Factor player. Big move up into the center from the Notorious player there, trying to lock off that zone. I think we're going to see this quite a bit. The angle of Dan Sensi locking off that lane, and then Notorious player coming through the center. So wide shot here, as you can see, the back lines for both teams. Now Kohler is in the Dorito. Unfortunately, he does get taken out. Kohler not having a great tournament, as he's been a weapon, a missile in the last couple of events for them. Sherman also takes the walk. So look for this center 50-yard player here, Huber, for Notorious. Maybe try to sneak in a ball or try to wrap and make the move. If he goes around the outside of this castle or this structure right here and goes to the can on the other side, he can get Sensi. But unfortunately, he's looking at two guns crossed up behind him, so he's just playing it slow and steady. Now, Notorious missing two of their star players, Archie Barnes Jr. and Mikhail Kovar, for this event. So definitely feeling the hurt there, but they do pick up Ivan Gonzalez from DMG to help bolster their roster a little bit. Ref checking the player in the back, Marky Franz. Long hair, don't care. AKA White Smoke there. You can see a ton of paint coming through on the side. Oh, he does get pieced in the hopper, though. Let's see what the ref call. Yeah, so he does get shot out, leaving just Ivan Gonzalez by himself. Now, Ivan, they are up one. 5 minutes have ticked off the clock so far. So got to be careful right now as things start to slow down. Austin Notorious only up by one. And you never want to take anything away from Distortion because they very quickly can turn things around. As they do, they shoot Huber out of the center, freeing up Dan Sensi to start moving. So great job, great move there. Trying to see who that is from Distortion. With the black and red striped jerseys taking on Notorious. I have the tiger striped white jerseys. So I believe that was Wank or Unger. See, the hard part is with all of the, well, I almost said outlaw guys, but all of the Distortion guys who used to play on Outlaws, a lot of those guys have the very similar builds. Weinrob, Unger, Wank. I mean, they all have very, very similar statures. So sometimes it's hard if you can't see the last name to know who it is. And Haber as well. They're all like little duplicates of each other.
30 seconds.
So Harrison Fry from Infamous over here in the P-Mob pit trying to help them out. P-Mob also coached by Noel Tran, legendary coach, Coach Revo, last couple seasons. Now out here with his boys on P-Mob helping out. So on the break, as you can see, huge push there down the center. Great dive from the Padres. Oh, a minor penalty pulled on the Padres on the Dorito side, though, so they're going to lose 2, making it a 3-on-5 right now in favor of P-Mob. So you can see this matchup right now. P-Mob player wanting to come through. He's wrapping. He's going to come through. He's going to get the shot. Great job. So Guest going to take a couple extra there, but he is going to get the player in the 40-yard line. So that's the difference in aggression, though. Oh, my goodness. P-Mob, though, loses 2 players behind them, though, too. So it looks like it's a 2-on-2. Went from a 5-on-3 to a 2-on-2. So someone on the Dorito side doing absolute work right now for Padres as they shoot out another player. Wow. Phenomenal job by the Padres, Dorito side player, to shut down any movement. So see who that was as they walk off, but just a great job to be the stopgap. Only 1 player left alive for the Padres there, so Nick Sloviak having a little fun here. Trying to get Nick's attention here to see if he wants to hop in the booth with me for a little bit.
10 seconds.
In this match right now, Notorious versus Distortion. So big implications here. Sensi with a whole back full of pods. Going to go into their side of the field. Okay. So Nick Sloviak not able to hop in because he's assistant coaching. He will be here later today, though. So this is what we love to see, the coaching the P-Mob, these guys coming down and helping out their semi-pro counterparts. Nick also have a very good relationship down here in semi-pro. Knows a ton of these guys, legend in the game. As we're in this action right now with Chicago Distortion and Austin Notorious. Wow, so the first trick that we've seen so far, someone throwing a pod at the bunker itself to see if they can get it to move, to try to catch somebody coming across. Unfortunately, it did not work as the pod actually exploded before it got to the bunker itself. So the pod throw made famous in the pro field during the Aftermath and Dynasty game a couple events ago, so now everyone does the pod throw. So Sensi's here, just you can see him sitting down. He is not moving. This is going to be Distortion's game plan to absolutely shut this side down. The snake has not been much of a factor, but the problem is the snake can become a factor very quickly if you rotate your gun off of it. So this snake is one of those snakes that you have to crawl all the way down to the other side of the field, and then you're just getting backs and pod packs. So British here in the wedge on the snake side. He's crossed off on the Dorito side, and also looking at the very top part, you can see the paint coming in right there at the very top of the 50-yard line, trying to make sure he's hitting a bounce shot right now, try to see if he can get somebody to make sure nobody is inside on that castle. So as we get a little long in the tooth here on these points, slow down quite a bit. It's almost under 7 minutes left to go in this match. So 1-1 all tied up. Both these teams need to pull out a win here. And I know that sounds very cliche, but Austin Notorious is their bracket looks crazy because in Notorious If Notorious wins this match, there's a bunch of 2-1 ties right now that could be the difference in one team making wild card and moving on, and one team getting knocked out. So time ticking off the clock right now. Heads up battle, and things slowing down quite a bit because no one wants to lose this point. So this is Notorious and Distortion's last match of the prelims. So in the case of Notorious, they just need to win right here. If Distortion can pull out the win, they could take the top spot in the bracket, secure their way into Sunday. And Distortion really wants to try to win this event because if they're able to squeak out the win for this event and Blast Camp, PB Fit go home early, they could take the pro spot. Now, Distortion is full of former pros from Trade My Gun Outlaws who unfortunately lost their pro spot when former owner of the Trade My Gun Outlaws sold their spot to the now Latin Saints at the World Cup last season. So what a development it would be if Distortion, the TMG guys, are able to get their pro spot back the next year. So here you can see the player in the 50-yard line juice box. They don't know he's there yet. He's waiting for Dan Sensi to back up just a little bit and get that pod pack. Now he is followed up by Marky Franz, a.k.a. White Smoke, who's trying to shoot across. Got to be careful. They're trying to draw Kohler into a gun battle right now. Kohler not had much success lately with some gun battles. So Marky Franz playing the dead zone right there, trying to get it. But, they are going to get Dan Sensi, and then as soon as they lose Dan Sensi, Distortion is going to call it, as Ivan's going to take a little bit of a core sample when getting into the snake. So great job there by Notorious to be patient and pull that off. Distortion needs to figure something out real quick. They cannot let Notorious go up by 1 point, because Notorious will sit back and roll their guns and make sure that you cannot move. Very Dynasty or Impact-esque in a way. Great gun battlers all around. So if you're just now tuning in, I am Vince from Let's Talk Paintball, here commentating this amazing 2022 NXL World Cup Premier Field, where we'll be live all weekend long for free on Facebook and YouTube. So make sure you're checking this out, liking, sharing, commenting, following, and subscribing. Let me know in the comments down below if you're watching this video. Who do you think is going to take this? P-Mob or Padres? Do you think Padres are going to be able to hold P-Mob off? Do you think P-Mob is going to be able to fight their way back? So, Padres do lose a body on the snake side. This gives P-Mob the one body advantage right now. So Jake Thorne there on the snake side on your screen right there, followed by Jake Madden. So as we're watching this, remember at 7 minutes left to go, 3 points down. All Padres need to do is just get this win. They need to hold off P-Mob for 7 minutes, not let them score a point. So tower battle going on right now. So guest number 5 working on his loader a little bit, having a little issues. Looks like he's got his marker back up and running as he's going to shoot the cut in between the Doritos. He's having a hard time here. That's the last thing you need. Slow walk up here from number 44, Kilbashian. So guest going to take a side, Kilbashian going to take a side. And they're going to try to work up and pinch this player out. But unfortunately, they do lose Guest out of the center, taking too big of a bite around the corner. It's going to put it to a 4-on-4. So Padres, after losing that first body, able to claw back and get that body even back up. So I don't think that's actually killed Bash. I think it's someone wearing his jersey. So P-Mob able to kill another body here, as you can see. Very slowly trying to work up into this snake. So he made his way in. I mean, Thorne, one of the best at trying to figure things out. They got to be careful, though. So they do know he's there. Oh! He misses his shot. Wow. So penalty going up. So trying to figure out what's going on right now. A little bit of silence there figuring out on the Padres side. So the snake player, or excuse me, the center player there for the Padres jumped over the snake, tried to bunker the snake player for P-Mob, didn't realize where he was. Unfortunately, got picked up by P-Mob and got shot. Refs came in to check him. Refs saw a hit. Trying to see if there was a hit. Apparently, the ref said there was a hit in his hopper, or hit in his pod pack. But the question is, did he shoot or did he not shoot? So coming on the field now, you can see Hank Stumpf there, former Ironman player. Played for Ruthless Factory last event. Now playing here in semi-pro with his boys from Distortion. Got Sensi, Wine Rob, Unger, Wank out there with him. Rocking the black and red Distortion. Bringing the name back. Legendary name in semi-pro. They are missing Ryan Rodarte for this event, which was a huge contributor for them up the center in Chicago.
30 seconds.
Kohler gonna take the seat for this point. So
30 seconds.
getting a little update from the Ultimate here. What's that? Minor penalty for playing on, shot in the pod pack on the move. Okay, so just to confirm, it was a minor penalty. When the player jumped over the beam, he was shot in the pod pack when he went down. On the way down, did shoot his marker, apparently. Even though it's shit in the ground, you cannot pull the trigger on your marker. So, breakout here. Austin Notorious. Making the move over. Big bump. They do get Dan Sensi out, which is exactly what they wanted to do. Sensi has been an absolute force over here on the snake side. So 5-on-4 advantage here right now for Notorious. As they're up by 1, 4 minutes, 38 seconds left to go. So Hank Stumpf right here hunting in the center, trying to figure out where everybody's at. Oh, but he looks over the top and gets capped again. That is the second or third time, unfortunately, Hank has looked over the top and gotten clapped up in the head. So Distortion going to throw the towel, spotting Austin Notorious. Another point here. 4 minutes, 21 seconds left to go. That was a quick point. And essentially in that situation, Distortion just trying to save time. They are just trying to save some time and, give them some room to come back. So down by 2, 4 minutes, around 4 minutes left to go. Absolutely no problem there for them to score a couple points and tie this game up. So coming back in the field, though, Padres versus P-Mob. P-Mob needed that last point. So looks like you got Schloss, Labashian going out there. We have Waz, Kurtzler. So firing his boys up, letting them know we got this. Jarula, big gun off the break there. Number 93 for Padres getting into the snake as well. Ref going in to check his pod pack. So deep check there on the pod pack, calling him clean. So unfortunately, though, now they definitely know he's there. So he's going to have to go up here. He's on. So he's playing a little wide. He's on Padres side of the field. They definitely know he's there now as they shoot down and they're able to get the shot on. So great job by Waz to get that shot down on him from the back. He was able to see his pack. So fill backwards there from P-Mob into. So sorry about that. Just listening to the sideline. Looks like a ref got shot in the, a dangerous place, unfortunately for him. He's not loving life. Sometimes that happens. These guys do get shot. Now, PMOB player saving the day as Bounds tries to run through and unfortunately gets shot for him. So filling back up into the center, 57 for the Padres. So they didn't know the player had gone backwards into the snake side wedge, and on top of that too, there was a cam player behind him looking over him. So great job. So Guest did not get run down because of a great save. So number 27 here for the Padres, trying to figure out where the bodies are on the Dorito or on the snake side or up in the center, as he does have a PMOB body in front of him in Dorito 2. So when we're talking about Doritos, we call them in order. So 1, 2, 3, and 4 there you can see on your screen. So Padres all stacked up right now. That's Waz and Kurtz trying to stop Schloss from moving down the field. Not able to pick him up on the move. PMOB's going to come through, get one. Oh, and get a little extra lovin'. He does take a hard fall, unfortunately, and then gets pieced at the same time. So he's limping off the field right now. Not able to get the body, too. So that's going to be a tough one. Number 44, Kilbashian, walking off, looking like he got injured on the run. So that's a tough one there. And they lose another player behind them as well. So 2 minutes, 12 seconds ticking off the clock. Padres just locking the field down right now. 4 bodies left alive for them, as they're just talking and rolling their guns, not letting PMOB get down. Under 2 minutes to go. PMOB has to push. PMOB was in a similar situation this at Philly, and they did not push fast enough to get the point. So this is what I love about Padres. Their game plan is to never sit back on their heels, never rest on their laurels, try to score as many points as they can, but do it in a smart, controlled way where they don't throw the point away. So 1 minute, 30 seconds left to go here. PMOB has to start going. They have to start thinking about a plan right now of how they can get up and score a quick point. Now, remember, in semi-pro, we do not have ties. Or, excuse me, we do not have overtime. We have ties. So Derulo thinks he's calling a shot right there. Didn't know if he'd get it. So they're going to towel it with 1 minute 13 left. That's a tough call. That is a tough call for PMOB, as they will only have 1 minute 13 seconds left to go to try to score 3 points. That's tough. That is a tough situation, tough circumstance. Nick Sloviak here talking to the Ultimate. Nick is one of those guys that definitely looks bigger in person than in real life. The shoulders on this guy, absolutely insane right now. You can definitely tell Nick goes to the gym. Nick definitely goes to the gym. So just giving you all a little humor on this wonderful day of paintball. So, again, if you're just now tuning in, great set we have right now. Austin Notorious up 2 points on Chicago Distortion. 4 minutes, 21 seconds left to go, as Distortion going to change up their game plan a little bit. They're going to blind out on that can and then still get into that wedge. Sensi is going to be dumping a ton of paint through that gap again. But really, that's going to come down to what Dorito side play can Distortion try to mount to save the day here, because they are down by 2. Now, they do get a shot on Marky Franz. He is going to take the walk, so that leaves 4 players alive for Notorious against 5 on Distortion. As I say that, Unger is going to take the walk on Distortion, so 4-on-4 body advantage even right now for these teams in very similar situations, as Kohler does get into the Dorito 3, trying to make some moves. I mean, they really need to get Kohler working in this game. He's been, kind of flat lately, and if they get him moving, they will definitely be dominating on that side. Now, into the snake, as you can see right now, crawling up. They have not picked him up yet. I believe this is Haber. It is. Haber's getting in here. They don't see him yet. He is on Notorious' side of the field. If he just looks across, he's going to catch a pod pack. He's going to get one. He's going to get another. That player is definitely shot in the pop back. And he gets 2. Okay, so Haber going to work right here. He's going to get 1. They don't know he's there yet. They don't know where the deaths are coming from. He's going to wrap. He's going to get 1. He's going to get another. So Haber easily with a 4-pack right now to save this point. Absolutely amazing. Great job by Haber to get down into Notorious' snake. Timers, buzzer's still running there. So here's the funny thing. Haber did that without the front of his barrel. So he took a core sample in the beginning, was able to get those kills with a short barrel. That is the talent level of that man and the IQ to understand he had to get close. So, wow. Great job there by Haber, followed up by Dan Sensi and Wank as well to help him out. Looks like the the front of his barrel completely caked in mud. And that's sometimes what you have to do, right? Weather does play a factor out here. It is a little muddy in some of these spots. He was able to take the front of his barrel off and make those kills. So 10 seconds left to go. P-Mob, 1:13 on the clock. They have to score 3 points. So on your screen, P-Mob getting up into the wedge. They're playing like they only need 1 point here. I would be full court pressing right now if I was them. There we go. Now they're making some attack. They're making the move now. They need to start going through. P-Mob has to make the run here. Guest going to get the shot on. Good job. So I was going to say that they're going to bunker Guest here. Guest not happy that they move through. Unfortunately, the penalty thrown on Padres. So a minor penalty, not a major. So Chasman here, gun down to the tower player just stopping everybody right now. I mean, they just need to move. So he's able to get the tower player, but it's going to be too little too late as there's 30 seconds ticking down. Straza holding off the masses right now. Doing a great job. So there's a back center player for P-Mob who's going to get clapped in the head. And then now Straza's going to gun battle with Chasman. But Chasman did exactly what he needed to do. He shrunk the clock down. They need to pay attention. And with only 1 second left, it's going to be too little too late. Yeah, no love lost there between Padres and P-Mob there. So that will be the end of that match. As Padres throwing up the L there. Yeah, that's for you is what they're saying. So great job there by the Padres to hold off the push of P-Mob. And unfortunately for P-Mob, looking very good the first day. Wind. Sorry. Wind is trying to take out everything right now as weather starts clearing up. The wind is starting to pick up a little bit. But I was going to say, so P-Mob, yes, P-Mob
10 seconds.
was start up day 1-1. Now they got a win. Now I'll take a loss that will put them at 2-2, unfortunately. So Distortion, also Notorious, different situation here as Haber is going to get into the snake and try to do exactly what he did last time as they do the delay on the center push. But they know he's there now. They're trying to hit a bounce shot off of that snake 2 into Haber's pack. So he's got to be careful as he goes down. They are going to get the shot in. They don't see him. If Haber stands up right now. So Haber just needs to wrap. If he wraps, he's going to get another. So Haber gets 1. He gets 2. He gets 3. So Haber just going off these 2 points. Wow. Haber getting 3 bodies. Sense makes the cross into their side of the field. So right now, Distortion on Notorious' side of the field. Notorious completely dropping the ball right now on Haber getting into the snake as there's 1 player left alive right for Notorious. Sensi's hunting. He's going to try to get the shot in on him. Got to be careful. Sensi doesn't get a penalty, so he is going to run him down. Don't hang it. Don't hang it, Sensi. Sensi, wait. There we go. So, situation like that. Wank letting them know what the count is. Weinrob is going to hang the flag. So it's going to tie this up with a minute 17 left to go. Great job. I mean, Haber just putting the team on his back these last 2 points. Haber said, hey, everybody, I'll just go ahead and get 4 kills these last 2 points in a row. So 8 confirmed kills for Haber and 2 points. Wow. Phenomenal job there. And this just shows the experience and the understanding right now. These teams know, so especially in this case of Distortion, they know what they have to do. They know what the stakes are. They know where their seating is. And it just takes that experienced moves like that from these players to say, we're not going to go, into the night quietly. We are going to push back. And Chicago Distortion's pits, one of the best in the game, right? They know what they're doing. They know where they've been at before, and where they're trying to do, what their goals are. So we are in true X-Ball. So if you're not aware, this is the first time you're watching paintball here, X-Ball is essentially in a match, 4 teams play. In a set, 4 teams play. Looks like, in this case, the previous set is done. Time expired. Padres take the win. But there's still a minute 17 left in this match. There'll be 2 minutes in between each point here between Austin Notorious and Chicago Distortion, who are sitting in the same exact bracket. Now, this is if you're looking right now, this is the 10-25 game. We do have one more set before we go into the lunch break. That's going to be Colorado Blitz taking on Ruthless Factory, and Arsenal taking on the Manawatu Titans, who looked amazing this morning. So a timeout taken right now by Distortion. Try to take a deep breath, get him under, minute 17, not a lot of time left, and they have scored, these 2 points back to back to tie things up. So great job by Distortion to help bring this one back. But if you look at the brackets and the way the seating is right now,
2 minutes.
in their bracket, Notorious is the number 1 spot, going 2-1, tied with Chicago Distortion. Now, how it works out is Distortion beats Notorious. They'll be the number 1 seed in their bracket, potentially getting the bye moving into Sunday. So out here in beautiful Kissimmee, Florida, outside Orlando, here watching this amazing semi-pro and WNXL action that we have planned all weekend long. If you're just now tuning in, make sure you like, share, comment, follow, subscribe. And if you're in the local area, come on out. We have an amazing vendor show going on right now. Everybody is here. All the large vendors, all of our sponsors, Pro Sharp Paintball, Planet Eclipse, GI Sports, HK Army, LoneWolfPaintball.com, Die Paintball, Stuff Air, DLX, all have amazing vendor booths out here right now, especially some of the new products that have released. So Planet Eclipse released their new CS3. HK Army has a new hopper out, the Sonic, and a new pod pack out. Die Paintball has a new DLS out as well. So a ton of stuff to come out here and see. Lux, GOG, Freak, they released a new barrel system. So look forward to seeing that in person. And again, if you have not subscribed to Let's Talk Paintball on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, I do product reviews, go over all the latest, hottest news. So head over there to watch and listen to the top pro, WNXL, and semi-pro action. Got some great stories building up here at the 2022 World Cup. And what started off as a little bit of a disaster here with Hurricane Nicole, this just shows the grit and gumption of the paintball community. We were able to gather back and make this event happen with little hiccups. So thank you so much to everybody out there, the setup staff, the refs, the crew, everybody out there. As we get into this minute and 15 seconds left, Austin Notorious versus Chicago Distortion. Distortion sending a player up into that wedge, looks like Hayden Stump from the Ironman, just dumping a ton of paint through that gap. Now, they did not send Haber to the snake this time. Austin Notorious was planning on it. So this, if they do tie, though, so in semi-pro, we do have ties. So there will not go to overtime. So if they tie, Notorious will still keep the top spot as their points margin is a little better. Neither team wanting to give up bodies right now. They want to secure their spots into Sunday, which they will do with a tie. So ref running in to check players. So Marky Franz does take, actually that's Bateman, sorry. Sorry, Franz. Bateman takes the walk there. 23 seconds left to go. Ref is running in. Got to be careful right now because if someone gets a penalty, a major penalty right now, it is an automatic swing point. So everyone is just trying to stay alive, not get a penalty. 4, 3, 2, 1. Not able to do it as Distortion is begging for the penalty right now, but not going to get it. So this match will end in a tie. So as far as seeding goes, Distortion will probably stay in the second seed for that bracket. But again, thank you so much for joining us here. Padres in this set just beat P-Mob. And then there was a tie between Notorious and Distortion. So thank you. I appreciate you out there. If you were watching, make sure you're liking, sharing, comment, and subscribing. Get this out there to everybody. We do have a great set coming up, and it should be the last set here before we go into the lunch break. It's Colorado Blitz taking on Ruthless Factory and Arsenal taking on Manawatu Titans. So I am Vince from Let's Talk Paintball out here at the 2022 NXL World Cup.